Explain the end of your career. So you stopped playing.
Confusing as fuck, huh?
Yeah, for real. You stopped playing, came back, played, stopped, then retired. Explain the process, and obviously we're supposed to get to it later, but I just kind of want to open up with it because we had a friend here who's here but not here that had a similar heart condition that you had, and I was literally with him when he died on the court.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and he was able to come back to life. So obviously we know how serious that is, but break down kind of the end of your career.
Yeah.
So did Bonzi as well.
Yep.
Shit. So obviously I was diagnosed with it in 2006 when I was drafted, passed out in the game, so then they took me to the hospital. I found out I had it. Had like 2 or 3 procedures done, so I went a minute with no issues. Signed with the Spurs. This one was kind of quiet. It came out, but it was more like more quiet. It came back again, so then they said I was out indefinitely for like a week.
So when you came back, like you passed out, or you just were feeling different?
Yeah, like you pass out. It's kind of weird, and it's kind of like catch-22 because it's like as you get in better shape, symptoms get worse, which don't make sense, right? Because you're supposed to work out to get better, but it's kind of like, so my shit can slow down too much, like when I'm out of rhythm, and I can pass out. So, as you get in better shape, your shit goes slower and slower, you know what I'm saying? So I was passing out. So I was in camp, had a little issues, then we got that fixed. So then fast forward to the end, I got the vaccine, played the one game in Chicago, felt terrible, like my heart rate was like racing, it was going too slow, like it was just off. So then I went home that night, and then we had a back-to-back with the Lakers. So then I played again, and like the whole thing with my heart is like, if I'm out of rhythm or I'm about to pass out, if you run, your shit's supposed to straighten up, so then you're good to go. It was the first time I was running and my stuff wouldn't straighten up. It was still going slow. It was like weird
so you
to be.
Feel it as you're running.
Yeah, like you're supposed to be like 100 and some beats, and you at like 60, and like how is that even possible? So like I just didn't feel right. So I go home that night, laying down, and like my shit was getting so slow. I just kept passing out over and over. And I'm more chill. And I grew up poor, so it's like you kind of like got to figure some shit out on your own. So I was like, just get through the night and I'll be good. So the whole night I'm laying there thinking I'm about to die. So then I called the trainer at like 6 a.m. Like, I can't take it no more. Go to the hospital. Like, they check me out. And then I kind of get out of the rhythm, and like they keep me in the hospital or whatever. So then like for me, I was shook because I had just signed with Brooklyn. I didn't I didn't know their training staff. I didn't know their doctors. So I was like, I got to go home and like figure this shit out. So I go home to my doctor. He was like, I wouldn't risk it. Like,
was that the first time a doctor's told you?
Yeah, every other doctor was like, you're good.
Shit.
And he was like, I've studied you when you were here for 5 years, and I've never seen you do this shit. So he was like, you got kids, man. Like, I wouldn't risk it. So the team is telling me you're gonna be good, which we already know how that shit go. Not talking down on anybody.
Yeah, that's just how it is.
Yeah. So then I go to him, and we have more of like a
right, a real
like,
bond.
Exactly. So he's like, I wouldn't risk it, bro. Like, I've never seen this happen to you before. You've been here 5 years. So the team's calling me, and I'm just like listening to him. So I was like, you know what? I don't want to be that dude that has a patch and then you don't think about him no more. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, you know what? I'm done. So I called him, and I'm like crying, emotional. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So then I retire, and like it goes crazy or whatever. I kind of like duck off and hide, like like normal. And then my doctor hit me up like, hey, if you really want to try this again, let's spend the whole summer putting you through every test I can put you through, running,
I don't want to lose where. So this is the beginning of the season you retire? And you
Yeah.
go through the whole season, then that following summer the doctor hit you again?
I retired towards the end, if you remember, because that's when KD needed the shot from a teammate.
Yeah, that's right.
And I said, if I was there, man, that's my chance to win the ring, because he's needed, because
right.
nobody could make a shot that game, and that's what I do. So that's when I retired towards the end, when they were playing against Giannis, and and his foot was on the line.
It's on the line, yeah.
Exactly. So I was sick, because I'm like, this is my opportunity, and they don't come often, as y'all know.
Yeah.
So I go home to that, and then that following summer.
Okay. So were you still kind of around the team, or you were at home at this time?
No, I went home.
Okay.
Like, as soon as it happened, like, it's kind of funny. I packed all my shit up, and like I got on the jet, and I was like, I'm out of here. So I didn't have to go back and get nothing, because I was just like, I don't want to die. You know what I'm saying? So went home and handled that shit. Mom's all shook, and everybody's blowing me up. So anyway, he hit me up that summer and was like, if you really want to play again, like, let's do it the right way. Let's spend the next 2 to 3 months putting you through every test, and then let's go back in, through your groin, and like, let's look at your heart and then make sure everything looks right. So I said, all right, I'll do it. So I did every test possible, and I passed all of them. And he was like, even if this happened again, I'm confident that you won't die. Obviously, you can't say 100%, but I think from everything I've looked at, like you'll be good to go. So I went through the whole summer, got approved. Had to go through the NBA. It was a long ass process, bro. Because the NBA, they don't want you dying either, obviously, but they don't want that liability. So then they put me through a whole nother ringer of 10, 12 tests, passed all that shit. So then it was like, okay, now where do you want to go? Like I'm back cleared to play, and then I had the option of Boston or Brooklyn. And I'm like, well, shit, I was with Brooklyn. That shit was love, like easy shots with Kevin. You know what I'm saying? Like James, hit me with the lob. So it was like, I'm gonna go back there, and then it was just a whole different season.
That's the trademark,
That's when
right?
everything just blew the fuck up.
You go back there, finish out. How many games you play that season?
Yeah, I don't even remember, bro. That was a frustrating season. Shit, maybe like 25, 30.
Okay.
Because then Claxton, who starts now, started to play really good.
Mm-hmm.
So then they kind of put me to the back burner a little bit because I couldn't switch. Could switch. I don't want to get into this shit. I could switch. You just got to have some, like somebody behind you.
Yeah.
But anyway, so then I didn't really play towards the end, and then that was it.
Damn. So how many years when it's all said and done?
16.
You made the right choice, bro.
Yeah.
That's a lot. I mean, like I said, like your whole life, this is what you want to do.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And to get this early on and be able to fight through it and still do what you do, accomplish what you accomplished, and then at the end having someone tell you like, I don't know, but you still have that fire burning and wanting to play, and then he kind of gets your hopes down like, okay, maybe you're right, and then he starts your fire again, like let's go through all this testing, and then you go back, and then the Brooklyn Nets explode.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If that team, that's arguably one of the most disappointing teams that ever came together.
Yeah.
When you think about the top three guys, and then also having someone like you know
Blake.
what I mean, on top of that.
Yeah.
I mean, on paper, that team was incredible, but the fact that nothing ever kind of came from it, and to hear your point of view now and what that championship, how that could have happened.